Hey kids, how's it going? I don't know about you guys, but I had just a killer week. Was supposed to go home for something back home to South Texas, but that didn't end up happening. So, uh, yeah, that was kind of disappointing. Um, Work was this is a drag, man. It was just I hated it. Uh, you know, I was out one day because I was kind of coldy, kind of fluey, and when you're hearing reports of the coronavirus, it doesn't really inspire you to feel all that better when you're already feeling kind of under the weather. Um, but doesn't matter because the weekend came, it's here, and this weekend is gonna rock um, for a couple of reasons. Um, as a Michelle Pfeiffer fan, it's gonna rock for a couple of reasons. A, tomorrow I am going to a brunch time screening of Grease 2. I've actually been to those before, twice. But this one's hosted by drag queen, so it's gonna be it's gonna be really fun. And I'm gonna wear my Grease 2 shirt, and I do have one. So that's gonna be really really fun. And the other reason this weekend rocks, um, as a Michelle Pfeiffer fan, the reason it rocks is because today, February 22nd, is the 34th, got it right this time, anniversary of Into the Night. This movie is not one of the most well known when it comes to Michelle Pfeiffer movies, but it is. It's an odd movie in a lot of ways. It's a favorite. If you're a Michelle Pfeiffer fan, um, this movie, uh, if it's not your number one go-to, it's still a movie that you can have a lot of fondness for, as I do, for a number of reasons. This movie was made in 1986. Oh God, I got it wrong again. It's 1985. Oh my God, I got Charlie Chan wrong. The age of Charlie Chan wrong. Getting this one wrong. What is happening to me? Uh, so it's the 35th anniversary. Anyway, yeah, this movie was made in 1985. It was directed by John Landis, who was coming off of Trading Places, great Trading Places, and was already embroiled in that unfortunate uh, accident, fatal accident that happened on the Twilight Zone movie and the subsequent court case. So this is what he shot, the movie he made during the middle of all that, and it's set in L.A. in the mid '80s, and it stars Jeff Goldblum as I think he's a NASA scientist, right? He's an aerospace engineer. Um, and he has insomnia. He cannot sleep. And one day he decides to just, instead of trying to go to sleep, which we all have had, we've all laid in bed, just try when we can't sleep and just wait for sleep to come, and it never comes. He's like, F this. I'm taking a drive. He goes to LAX late at night, and he parks in the parking lot. And as soon as he does that, out comes from the elevator a blonde woman and a male companion who are immediately seized upon by some Iranian terrorists. Are they Iranian? Um, I believe so. Yeah. And because she's actually smuggling diamonds, and they kill her boyfriend. They kill her male companion, whoever he is, and she literally jumps on his car, on this guy's car, this Insomniac's car, and off they go into this wild LA nighttime adventure. And he is played by Jeff Goldblum. Sorry, I didn't say that. Who plays Ed Oken, and she is played by Michelle Pfeiffer. And her name in the movie is just Diana. And it's this is a real it's ostensibly a comedy. But the comedy in this movie is really sort of it's dark. It's pretty dark. And I got a colleague on who's also a friend on the blog I write for, Synapse. He watched this movie and didn't like it. He thought it was pretty mean spirited, and yeah, it's a little harsh. It is a little harsh, but man, it's such a random movie too. Um, it's a great testament to sort of like the otherworldly nature of LA after dark in a lot of ways. It's it's got this really great yin and yang thing going on between the two characters because they are so different. Um, it's a it's a modern throwback. It's an '80s throwback to the sort of like crime capers of like the '50s and the '60s. It has a little bit of a Hitchcock flair to it. It's a lot of fun. It's most notable for its cameos. It has a crap ton of cameos, especially in terms of directors. I mean, Jonathan Demme's in it, Lawrence Kasdan, David Cronenberg. Um, who else? Amy Heckerling is in it. John Landis. John Landis plays one of the Iranian terrorists. I mean, come on. Let's see. But the supporting cast is also pretty wild as well. I mean, you got Dan Aykroyd, Richard Farnsworth, Irene Papas, Catherine Harold, Vera Miles from Psycho. Uh, did I say Dan Aykroyd? Dan Aykroyd's in here, who was in Landis's previous film, Trading Places. Um, oh God, most random of all, David Bowie as a very awkwardly dressed hitman. Um, I mean, this is such a wild movie. It's pretty crazy, and I'm so glad she did it because I love that every actor has that random movie that doesn't really fit into any one genre. Every good actor should have one of those movies, and I think this is Michelle Pfeiffer's. It defies characterization, and it took me a little while to um, actually acknowledge that it existed. It didn't catch my eye right away. It took me a long time to actually go back, apart from Grease 2 and Scarface, to go and explore her early filmography. But once I found it, I just loved it, and I've written about it twice for Synapse. The second time was for the release of this Blu-ray by Shout Select, and this movie's not for everybody. It's not for my friend who loves really random movies and has really great takes on every movie he sees. But I disagree with him on this one. Sorry. Anyway, it's a mystery, it's a thriller, it's a comedy, it's a romance too, in a lot of ways. God, I mean, this is just Roger Vadim. Roger Vadim is in this movie. Roger Vadim shares screen time with Michelle Pfeiffer in this movie. B.B. King. B.B. King does the music for this movie. He sings the title song "Into the Night," and it launches the film. And it's a great song. I do karaoke a lot. I love me some karaoke. I would love to do "Into the Night" as karaoke selection, but even I have that much self-awareness, so I'm not going to try that ever. But I would love to. Um, I'm really grateful that she did this movie, and she almost didn't. It was only actually almost going to be Jamie Lee Curtis, because Jamie Lee Curtis, like Dan Aykroyd, had previously worked with John Landis on Trading Places, and what was one of her best performances, I feel. And she had signed on to this. She said yes to John Landis, and was going to do it. And then she got offered a movie John Travolta called Perfect, which I have not seen, but I know it's an '80s favorite for some people, so I will watch that one movie one day. I will. Um, but anyway, she backed out, and Michelle Pfeiffer, her agent, went to John Landis and said, "Please consider my client. She's willing to come in and read for you. She will read for you. She will, you know, show you. She will come in and audition and prove to you that she is the woman in this film." And John Landis finally relented, and it worked. And they ended up working together again, actually, in this sort of comedy anthology film that he directed a segment of, starring her and her then husband Peter Horton, called Amazon Women on the Moon, which I've only seen her segment. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I think I'm actually going to review it for this channel. So, anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, from I was laughing when I said from 1985, Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Pfeiffer and John Landis's Into the Night.